नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातम् अहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम् Hare Krishna. So I recently was traveling. I was in India this year, 2025, actually last year. By Krishna's mercy, I was able to visit three times. First, we went to the Prayagraj for the Kumbh Mela. Then in October, I went again for some personal work with my parents. And then this time, we got to visit Vrindavan for our spiritual master's 50th sannyasa anniversary. And while I was there was a lot of discussion going around, and it came to my ears a few times about, hey, Prabhu, have you heard about the Bhavishyavani? And I was like, what about it? He says, you haven't heard about Bhavish Mallika? Have you heard about World War III that's coming up? And a few other things. And then I was curious. And it happened a few instances where some devotee brought some references from Prabhupada, and somebody's telling me about this ancient scripture 600 years ago. So I went in and I started looking at, doing some research. And I felt that, hey, you know what? When I go back, I want to speak about this topic to whoever would like to listen to. So all I request is from all of you is your kind attention. If you're multitasking, then just drop it for a few minutes. And if you can't come on the screen, okay, I can understand. But at least you can pay your attention and listen to what I'm saying, because like we say in school also, we need attention. Students who sit in the front, they get more out of it than those who are backbenchers. So if you're multitasking, it's more like backbenchers. And if you're just sitting there, then you'll probably grasp a lot more. So dealing with calamities. Here is a beautiful picture of a person who's smiling, and on the other side, you have a person who's pulling his hair, seems pretty disturbed. Definitely is going through some problems. Now, calamities could mean different things to different people. Next slide. How many of you all have experienced Ram Tulsi Prabhu, can you go to the next slide? So here, see on the screen, if you relate to any of this, life feels meaningless at times. What am I going to do? What's my future like going forward from here? I just feel like quitting. There's financial stress, job losses. I feel hopeless. I'm confused. I don't know whether to go left or right. I'm just tired. I just want to quit. I just leave me alone. I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to be by myself. You know what? I don't care anymore about who thinks what. I don't care about others. I'm missing that love and affection. I have no energy left. I can't do anything else. I'm addicted to social media. I'm addicted to sinful activities. Anybody relate to any of this? Maybe you can raise your hand. There is a react button over there. You can click on it, and if those who don't, I'm very grateful that you don't go through this, and I pray that Krishna keep you through that situation where you don't relate to any of this. which is wonderful. But if you do, then I'm also in the same boat, and I want to talk to all of you. This is not very uncommon that people go through this situation. Next slide. But we must ask ourselves, sorry, somebody trying to speak. Next slide. What are these calamities? So our shastras, our scriptures, like I said, calamities could mean different things to different people. For some, it could mean my husband is not listening to me. He's not doing things that I'm telling him to do. Or my wife really doesn't take care of my health. She's all the time wanting to just buy things from outside, food from outside, not cooking at home. It could be kids who are not listening. They're always on their phone. They don't interact with the father and mother. It could mean that somebody has cheated you. It could mean as somebody at work is giving you a hard time. It could mean many things. It could just mean that, why didn't you fold the clothes today? Why are your clothes lying all over the place? But that's not a calamity. Those are problems. But sometimes for individuals, those little things are calamities. And for some others, it's like losing a loved one, or getting beaten up by someone, or getting into an accident. These could be calamities. So everyone's level of it's winter time right now, and it's pretty cold here in New Jersey or in North America, and maybe other parts of the world. And you don't have enough heat. That could be a calamity because 24 hours you're just shivering. But that's all. These calamities are temporary. The Shastras explain that calamities, problems, come in three major categories, and they fall under Adi Daivika problems, sufferings that are caused by nature and divine forces, Adhyatmika, which is suffering caused by the mind and body, and sufferings from other living entities, which is Adi Bhautika. And here the picture speaks 1,000 words, so you can understand what these are. Next slide. Now, to understand, many times people ask this question, like, मेरे साथ ये क्यों हो रहा है? I have never hurt anybody. मैंने कभी किसी के साथ कोई गलत काम नहीं किया. तो ये मेरे साथ क्यों? और एक बार नहीं, बार बार क्यों? Why is this happening again and again? Why do I get calamities in my life? It's very important to understand कि ये fluke से नहीं हो रहा. It's not just, problems are not just coming uninvited just because, कभी अच्छा होना है, कभी बुरा होना है. No, there is a reason behind it. And let's see what Bhagavad Gita says about that. Let's go to the next slide. Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. What does that mean? That this place, this earth or this universe, this material world is called Dukkhalayam ashashvatam, a place of misery. Bhagavad Gita 8.15 translation says, after attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world which is full of misery. So think about this. We are all in a jail. And jail में जाके misery नहीं होगा तो और क्या होगा? It is misery. A lot of people don't understand this. They feel that I'm in a wonderful place. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm in a palatial situation. I'm in a heavenly situation. पैसे का problem नहीं है, health का issue नहीं है, relationships का problem नहीं है, आज नहीं है. But there's no guarantee that it won't happen tomorrow. There's no guarantee it won't happen after this life. Because by definition, this place that we live in is a place of misery. So that's the number one cause of whenever you are in calamities, remember this verse, remember this Dukkhalayam ashashvatam, that you are in a jail. You are in a place of suffering. So suffering will come, invited or uninvited. Now, there are degrees of suffering, there's degrees of problems, and we'll get into that. Then the second is the bodily concept, O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress, and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception, ocean of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them. Bhagavad Gita explains this, that these miseries are because of our bodily concept, that we relate ourselves to the body. We don't think that मैं एक आत्मा हूँ. आत्मा है, पता है, but how many times do we, during the day, we think that I am a spirit soul? Hardly. We're always focusing, right, on beautifying ourselves, presenting ourselves well, making sure we are in a safe situation, we are well protected, well dressed. So it's all around the body. And we relate to anything comes, any of these previous three problems, it's related to the body. But then the same problems, when faced by spiritualists, pure devotees of the Lord, they don't complain about these problems. Thandi hai to we have yogis who are in the Himalayas, who are meditating in cold, in the Ganges. Then we have people who in the summer heat are doing Govardhan Parikrama. It's like 105 degrees and they're still walking around Govardhan. So one will question that, well, body hai to problems to honge and complain to karenge. But then how come you have another set of people who are completely averse from all this? वो फील ही नहीं करते है. फील करते भी है तो बट वो जानते कि ये टेम्पररी है. It's a phase, we will go through it. And they are just completely happy and blissful. Then the next one is Dukhalayam, one is the bodily concept. Then the third is our past karmas. And this is very big. The living entity in material nature thus follows the ways of life, enjoying the three modes of nature. This is due to his association with that material nature. Thus he meets with good and evil among various species. Bhagavad Gita 13.22. 8,400,000 species of lives hai. Usme se one is human form. And one goes through so many species. See, Sanatan Dharma or the Vedic scriptures हमें बताते हैं कि ये जीवन is not the beginning and the end. इसके पहले भी बहुत सारे जीवन हो चुके हैं, इसके बाद भी और भी बहुत सारे जीवन होंगे. जन्म मृत्यु जरा व्याधि के साइकिल से हर एक स्पीशीज को जाना ही पड़ेगा. एंड हमने पहले के लाइफ्स में या इसी लाइफ्स में कितने सालों पहले या कल या आज सुबह को हमने ऐसे कुछ कर्म किए होंगे जिसके हमें फल मिल रहा है या तो हमें उसका दुख भोगतना पड़ रहा है. We are having to go through miseries or happiness. There's no other alternative. You see, many times people say ये भगवान की इच्छा होगी. Now कौन सा माता या पिता है जो चाहता है that मेरा बच्चा goes through severe problems? Let me give severe pain to my child, right? Parents don't. I mean, there may be some odd cases, but in general they don't. Similarly, Krishna or Vishnu as our father and mother does not wish upon us miseries. जो हमारे साथ लाइफ में कुछ गलत होता है, किसी ने हमारे साथ कुछ गलत किया, हमें किसी ने छोड़ दिया, हमें किसी ने चीट किया, हमें किसी ने हमारे से अन्याय किया, हमारे साथ हेल्दी खाना खा रहे, we are living an organic lifestyle and suddenly we realize that I've been diagnosed by a severe disease. ये क्यों हो रहा है? Is really Krishna wishing this upon us? No. One is that we have taken up this body. एक spiritual आत्मा ने एक शरीर को लिया है और उसके अंदर it's already unhappy. It's not its ideal situation. Second, it's in a jail. It's in a place जहाँ पे suffering है. There may be some times जहाँ पे जेल में से बाहर निकलने दे, खाने को दे, पीने को दे. So that is a little bit of happiness is there. But end of the day, there's suffering. And then हमारे पास कर्मस जो हम जानते भी नहीं है, तो पिछले जन्म में क्या किया, किसने क्या किया, right? Now imagine someone like Bin Laden or Saddam or any other so-called who have killed masses of people. Hitler का ले लीजिए. This janam mein he's just born and something terrible happens where is crushed, और कई लोगों ने छोटे बालक को मार दिया. अब कोई सोचेगा भगवान इतने निर्दयी कैसे है, बट उन्हें ये नहीं समझेगा कि ये पास्ट कर्म में यही आत्मा ने इतने अत्याचार या कुछ किया होगा जिसकी वजह से इस जन्म में उसके वो भोगतना पड़ रहा है. There's always a reason. There's no by chance. Then the fourth is because we have desires and attachments. हमें desires है, हमें attachments है. We love someone, and then that someone turns their back to us. तो क्या होता है? We feel pain, right? Next slide. So we go through this cycle all the time. Desires, attachments. हमें कुछ खाने का बहुत शौक है, लेकिन we're not able to eat because of diabetes हो गया है. So how do I, get out of all this? These four. Ram Tulsi Prabhu, can you click on the next? While contemplating the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment. From attachment, lust develops, and from lust, anger arises. From anger, complete delusion arises, and from delusion, bewilderment of memory. When memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost. And when intelligence is lost, one falls down into the material pool. Bhagavad Gita 6.62 and 63. So it starts with lust. Lust doesn't just mean sex. Lust means attachments कई चीजों के लिए हो सकती है. And then that lust, then expectations आते हैं उसके साथ. Every relationship has an expectation. Marriage है तो expectation है, parents है तो expectation है, children है तो expectations है, boss है तो expectation है, employee है तो मैं इतना मेहनत कर रहा हूँ मुझे बोनस रेज मिलेगा, expectations है. हर जगह सुबह से शाम expectations ही expectations है. अब जब वो expectations नहीं meet होते, then what happens? Frustration comes. And then frustration definitely leads to anger. And anger is the cause, one of the causes of then falling down, because in anger, one makes foolish decisions. Just recently, मेरे neighborhood में ये हुआ, where somebody just drove into somebody's garage at 4 a.m.
हजुरलाई एक्ज्याक्ट म्याटर भनेन कि क्या हो के भन्दा यो दिलीप प्रभु भन्ने यो प्रभु आइरहेछ क्या.
Ram Tulsi, can you manage the muting of devotees? Go back to the previous, please. So what I was saying is that 4 o'clock in the morning, somebody just bumped into somebody's garage, neighbor mein. Completely frustrated, completely drunk, completely in delusion. One would never expect. Front seat में एक बच्चा बैठा है, person doesn't have a license, घर पे सब सो रहे हैं, and you suddenly wake up. And how did this happen? And this is a safe area, safe zone. Never had problems there. So are we prepared for this? Now, if we can see from Shastra, look at this picture. Draupadi sitting peacefully in her palace, and suddenly calamity strikes. She's completely secure that my 5 husbands are around. They're playing downstairs with the cover of us. But suddenly Dushasan comes and pulls her out from her palace, from her room, and starts disrobing her. Out of nowhere. कभी उसने सोचा नहीं था. लगा होगा कि शायद बुला भी लेंगे नीचे, शायद हार जाएंगे तो घर छोड़ के जाना भी पड़ेगा. लेकिन वस्त्रहरण ये कभी नहीं सोचा था. And what did she do at that time? पहले तो she tried to look at people around. भीष्म, द्रोणा, सभी वहीं पे थे. देखा आजू बाजू में, अरे कोई हेल्प, कुछ बोलो, कुछ करो. जब वो नहीं हुआ, then she started using her own strength. नहीं, मैं अपने बल पे करूंगी. और जब वो भी नहीं हुआ, तब at the last moment, जब वो डिसरोब कर रहा था, तब उसने किसको बुलाया? गोविंद को. And at that point, Krishna appears. You look at another case with Sugriv and Bali Maharaj. When Sugriv was being, Ramtal Sivro, can you please? When Sugriv was being harassed by his own brother Vali, मेरा ही भाई है. We can live together. We have our own kingdom, everything. But no, he takes shelter. A calamity strikes, and what he does, he takes shelter of Sri Ram. ये मैं इसलिए बता रहा हूँ क्योंकि lot of us know about this, but it's a reminder for all of us that ये situations में put yourself in this situation. All the Matajis, put yourself in Draupadi's situation today. All the Prabhus, please put yourself in Sugriv's situation today. Would we want to wear those shoes? We would not. हमें क्या लगता है कि मेरे प्रॉब्लम्स प्रभु आप नहीं जान पाओगे. My problems, you have no idea what I go through because you have a better life, right? We always think the grass is greener on the other side. दूसरे के प्रॉब्लम्स इतने नहीं होंगे. तो भगवान यहाँ पे दिखाते हैं अपने भक्तों के साथ, वो अपने भक्तों को ही प्रॉब्लम्स में डालते हैं और बोलते हैं दिखा दे तू क्या करेगा इस सिचुएशन में. सो आने वाली जो पीढ़ी है वो तुम्हारे ही उदाहरण से ये समझ पाए कि जब प्रॉब्लम्स आते हैं लाइफ में हमें क्या करना चाहिए. नेक्स्ट में जाएंगे तो यहाँ पे गोविंद बुलाया, फिर राम को बुलाया. अब आगे जाके देखते हैं नेक्स्ट में किसको. गजेंद्र की स्टोरी. गजेंद्र हाथी जो 1000 ईयर्स सेलेस्टियल ईयर्स के लिए क्रोकोडाइल के साथ फाइट करा था. There was I won't go into the story of Gajendra Moksha, but at that point, where he's having a beautiful day with his family of elephants, he had no expectation that a crocodile will come and pull him into the waters. And in the water, crocodile is stronger, and he's losing the battle. He's about to die. And at that moment, he did the same as Draupadi. He first looked around. He looked at his wife elephant, his children, his cousins, his brother. They were all together. And they came up to help him. They could not. They started walking away. He said, hey, hold on. तुम्हारे लिए मैं सब काम कर रहा हूँ दिन भर. आई गो टू ऑफिस. मैं तुम्हारे लिए घर आके खाना बनाता हूँ. मैं ग्रोसरी शॉपिंग में वुड वगैरह बनाना मैं लेके आता हूँ. सब कुछ मैं तुम्हारे लिए करता हूँ. और अब जब मेरे पे अटैक हो रहा है तुम लोग मुझे यहाँ पे छोड़ के भाग जाओगे. He realized this, that all this was temporary. All this was temporary. Then he looks around, there's nobody else. And then finally he calls out, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And वहां पे एक lotus पड़ा. He picks up that lotus and in a gesture of offering it to the Lord appears there. Final moment, he takes shelter. Next, and this Gajendra was King Indradyumna in his previous life. तो हम जब past life की बात करते हैं, there is a reason we talk about previous lives and reincarnation, because as king he was able to remember what all he did in his past lives, and those slokas came out when he was in deepest trouble. Look at Mother Kunti. In her calamities, she was sent to exile. She was a queen of the entire kingdom. Her husband, she lost her husband. Her children and herself were attempted to be killed. She lost her family, and then finally her children had to go to war. Despite all these situations, she never complained. कभी नहीं. कभी ये नहीं बोला कि ये मेरे साथ ही क्यों हो रहा है कृष्णा, तुम तो मेरे नेव्यू हो. What did she call out? Krishna, Ramdal Sibru, keep moving. Keshav, she called him with many names. She said, Keshav, but please don't leave. It's okay to go through all those problems. हम कितनी बार बोलते हैं कि हमारे साथ इतने क्लोज होके भी आपने हमारे लिए ये नहीं किया, हमारे लिए वो नहीं किया. Krishna was so close to Mother Kunti. She could have easily said, why is this happening with me? हमारे साथ ये होता है प्रभु जी माता जी, बहुत बार होता है. That we expect कि भगवान हमारे साथ भी ऐसा ना करे. क्यों? बिकॉज हम भगवान को फूल चढ़ाते, हम पानी चढ़ाते, रोज सुबह उठ के घंटी बजाते, मिठाई देते, वंस इन अ वाइल मंदिर जाते. इतना सब करने के बाद भी आप हमें इतने प्रॉब्लम्स के थ्रू जाते. मदर कुंती को तब याद करें. That she went through all this, and what were her prayers? Hey Keshav, because I'm going through these problems, I'm remembering you at all the times. And at that times, you are with us. You are with us. Now, if I was in a good situation, then आप शायद को याद भी नहीं करती और आप होते भी नहीं. सुख में स्मरण सब करे, दुख में करे ना कोई. दुख में जो सुमिरन करे, सुख में जो सुमिरन करे, दुख काहे को होए. Then look at the case of Uttara. She was being attacked. Krishna, after the war is over, is about to leave from the Pandavas, and she comes running. Pahi, pahi mam, please help. क्या हुआ? ये एक fiery arrow is coming towards me, Krishna. She calls out to Krishna. Jagatpate, in Bhagavatam, there is a verse 1.8.9. Pahi pahi mahayogin deva deva jagatpate nanyam tvad abhayam pashye yatra mrityu parasparam. She calls out in total helplessness, in a complete mood of surrender without complaining, and complete dependence on Krishna. कि कृष्णा राखे मारे कृष्णा राखे के. अब उत्तरा के ऊपर, उत्तरा इज प्रेग्नेंट, उसके घर में बच्चा है, उस पे कौन अटैक करेगा? बट इट वॉज एन ऑर्डिनरी एरो. इट वॉज ब्रह्मास्त्र, which is compared today's day and age, a nuclear weapon released on a pregnant woman. And she comes running not to Yudhishthir or Bhima or Arjuna. She comes running to Krishna. Next. Then let's look at Ajamil. Ajamil was a Brahmana, and in his old age, he faces calamity. कैसे? पूरा life sinful activities किया. lot of people think ना कि कुछ नहीं होगा, पूरा लाइफ आई लेफ्ट अच्छे से किया है, कभी भी किसी को दुख नहीं दिया, कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स नहीं हुआ, तो मुझे कुछ प्रॉब्लम होने वाला नहीं है. भगवान आएंगे, मुझे लेके जाएंगे, आएंगे आएंगे राम आएंगे, जरूर आएंगे. पता चलता है कि राम तो आए नहीं, उसके जगह पे पता नहीं कौन भयानक लोग आ गए. अजामिल के साथ यही हुआ, कुछ भयानक लोग आ गए to take him because he used to, from Brahmana, he gave up all his Brahmanical activities. He started eating meat. He was drinking alcohol. He was gambling. He was having illicit sex. All this karte, and he had no respect for saintly people. End में Vishnu Dutas आए. But at that time, in that calamity, even though unknowingly he chanted his youngest son's name, which was Narayan, the Lord immediately sent the Vishnu Dutas to protect him, unknowingly. That is why बोलते हैं कि बच्चों के नाम ऐसे रखो कि बच्चों के नाम से भी आप भगवान का स्मरण कर पाओ constantly. Next, we see Haridas Thakur's case. Haridas Thakur was Lord Brahma who appeared as Haridas Thakur in a Muslim family 550 years ago in Bengal. हरिदास ठाकुर को कहा जाता है नामाचार्य. क्यों? क्योंकि वो हर दिन रात पूरे समय भगवान का नाम लेते थे, महामंत्र ही जप करते रहते. एंड दिस द मोगल एम्पायर दे कुड नॉट टॉलरेट इट, सो दे हैड हिम बीटन इन द मार्केट्स, बुरी तरह मारने के लिए. बट इवन इन दैट सिचुएशन he would not give up the chanting of Mahamantra. Now here in different parts of the world, devotees go out and chant Hare Krishna on the streets. What happens? Nobody comes to beat us. Freely we can go and chant. Imagine the police or hooligans come and start beating us. Next day say Sankirtan, Harinam Sankirtan band. Everybody will be home. एक बार ऐसे हुआ था where devotees were arrested by the cops and put in the jail. तो डिवोटीज wrote to Prabhupada, these were American devotees, कि प्रभुपाद हमको जेल में डाला है, हम क्या करें? प्रभुपाद बोले जेल में हरि नाम संकीर्तन करो. तो दे स्टार्टेड चैंटिंग. चैंट किया तो वहां तो क्राउड का जरूरी नहीं था, ऑलरेडी इतना भरा हुआ था जेल. क्राउड वहीं पे खड़ा था, तो उनका कीर्तन सुनते सुनते वो भी नाचने लगे। तो वो नाचते नाचते वहां का जो ऑफिसर था उसको भी अच्छा लगा, वो भी ताली करते करते हंसते हंसते गए। उनको सोच रहा था ये कौन पागल फनी लोग हैं, लेकिन कीर्तन अच्छा लग रहा था। ही स्टार्टेड लाफिंग एंड देन द superintendent came, the person above him. When he came, he got upset. He said, hey, what's going on? Seems like there's a party going on here. What's going on? Well, this chanting, these people are chanting, it's like just so fun and it's just so funny. तो बोले कि अरे पागल हो गए, इनको सबको छोड़ दो। तो वो लोग प्रभुपाद को बोले, प्रभुपाद दे आर रेडी टू लीव अस नाउ, व्हाट टू डू? प्रभुपाद बोले, नहीं, बाहर मत निकलो, अंदर ही रहो। You are having a good, your preaching is going very well inside. So this is constantly devotees' mood, that irrespective of what situation they are in, they will chant the holy names. So we can see from the life of Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur को कितने कोड़े पड़े थे, look at his body. हमें कोई सोड नहीं, बट कोई हमें थोड़े वर्ड्स भी बोल देना शार्प, ऐसे बुरा लग जाता है कि हम सब कुछ छोड़ दें रेडी हो जाता है। वी आर रेडी टू स्टॉप चैंटिंग, रेडी टू स्टॉप टॉकिंग टू पीपल। हमें नहीं बात करनी, क्यों? बस मुझे बहुत बुरा लगा वर्ड लगा, बट क्या लगा? कहीं पे तुम्हें खरोश तो नहीं आई? यू डोंट हैव एनी ब्रूजेस और एनीथिंग? नहीं, मुझे लगा, दिल में लगा। वेरी वेरी सेंसिटिव होते हैं। और यह हरिदास ठाकुर को गालियां दी, उसको इतना मारा, इतना पीटा, बट ही डिड नॉट गिव द होली नेम्स। एंड देन हमारे Srila Prabhupada, when he was coming, just look at the calamities. 1965 devotees, 1965. He's 70 years old. He's taken a merchant navy ship called Jaladuta to come to America. Why? Because his spiritual master said, go to the West and spread this message. Imagine us being in this situation. Today you get a call. Sakre Kaur, this is your Guru Maharaj speaking. Please take a flight to Afghanistan and start preaching there. What would be your reaction, Sakri Kaur? I'm curious to hear.
Bye. Okay. Hare Krishna Prabhu. First of all, please accept my most respectful obeisances at the dust of your lotus feet, and my very respectful pranams to all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis present here. All words to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhu, I'll be shocked. I'll be like, did I hear it right? Guru Maharaj, really, after paying my obeisances, Afghanistan, is that what you said? I'll be very shocked, Prabhu, yes.
But what would you do?
I'll give him 10,000 reasons why I can't go.
Thank you for your honesty. And that happened to one of the devotees, Prabhupada ke samay pe bhi. Prabhupada wanted him to become temple president. तो प्रभुपाद ने बोला, उसको बुलाया, बोले कि भैया तुझे टेम्पल प्रेसिडेंट नहीं, टेम्पल प्रेसिडेंट बनाना था, बट somebody said कि नहीं बनेगा, नहीं बनेगा। तो वो अभी शादी हुई उसकी। तो प्रभुपाद बोले, बुलाओ उसको, कॉल हिम, आई विल टॉक टू हिम पर्सनली। तो उसको पर्सनली बुलाया। बोले, ओके, यस प्रभुपाद, एनी आपका कोई ऑर्डर? टेल मी व्हाट्स योर ऑर्डर, एनीथिंग आई कैन डू फॉर यू प्रभुपाद? तो प्रभुपाद बोला, यस, आई वांट यू टू टेक संन्यास। बोले, संन्यास? प्रभुपाद, आई जस्ट गॉट मैरिड प्रभुपाद, अभी संन्यास में कैसे लूं? ही स्टार्टेड गिविंग 10,000 excuses. Then Prabhupada said, okay, in that case, why don't you become a temple president? And he happily agreed, and he became a temple president. See, Prabhupada knew that he didn't want to become a temple president, but he asked him to do something that he just could not accept and do it. And then he settled with temple president, right? Yamuna Kheli, if your Guru Maharaj called you and he said, kal se tum job chhod do, and I want you to go out full time distributing books in the streets of Noida in this cold weather, what would you do?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam.
Dhanavad.
Yes, Prabhuji, same like Mataji said, I'll have 10,000 reasons to give. I have this and I have that. So many reasons, Prabhuji. Just
या सौम्य कृष्ण के लिए प्रसाद कौन बनाएगा, घर कौन देखेगा?
yeah, Prabhuji.
Yeah, see, and here is Prabhupada at 70, he goes because his Guru Maharaj has asked him to go. And Srila Prabhupada, he's completely surrendered. He has no fear at that time. He's on a ship, but he only remembers his Guru Maharaj's instructions. And at that time, he remembers Krishna. And how does Krishna reciprocate? Srila Prabhupada writes in his note diary later on that Krishna appeared to me. Krishna put me on his lap, my head on his lap, and he said, "Do not worry, I am with you." Prabhupada has written all this in his diary. And then rest is history. That time there was no ISKCON. And this is how ISKCON came into existence. Next slide. Now we see that same thing happened with Arjun. Arjun was completely bewildered. He was like, Krishna, he was the greatest of the greatest warrior. वो बोल रहा है, my whole body is trembling, my hair is standing on end, my bow is Gandhi is slipping from my hand, and my skin is burning. This was a situation. He tells Krishna, I can control the wind, लेकिन मैं अपना मन को कंट्रोल नहीं कर पा रहा. When calamities come, सबसे पहले अफेक्ट जो होता है ना, वो हमारा माइंड होता है. हमारा मन जो है ना, हमारे साथ ट्रिक्स खेलना शुरू करता है. वो कंफ्यूज हो जाता है, मैं क्या करूं, मैं छोड़ दूं ये रिलेशनशिप, मैं छोड़ू ये जॉब कि नहीं छोड़ू, मैं किसकी सुनूं, मैं किसको बिलीव करूं, मेरा कोई फ्यूचर है कि नहीं, कोई मेरे लिए केयर करता है कि नहीं. ऑल नेगेटिव स्टार्ट्स कमिंग. एंड दैट्स व्हाट हैपेंड विद अर्जुन. He was ready to fight, and that's why they were at the battlefield. After all this, he's looking at his relatives, his well-wishers, his guru, and he's completely bewildered with Krishna present in front of him. Devotees, this is good news for us. Arjuna is standing on the chariot with Krishna, and he is completely disturbed and in depression. मैं और आप के साथ कृष्णा इज नॉट स्टैंडिंग फिजिकली. तो ये होना ही है, ये हो सकता है. एंड डोंट बी डिप्रेस्ड अबाउट बीइंग डिप्रेस्ड. अंडरस्टैंड, ऑलरेडी डिप्रेशन में होंगे या एंजाइटी में होंगे या स्ट्रेस में होंगे, ये सोच सोच के और डिप्रेस नहीं होना. अर्जुन को याद करना है, प्रभुपाद को याद करना है, उत्तरा को याद करना है, सुग्रीव को याद करना है, द्रौपदी को याद करना है, हरिदास ठाकुर को याद करना है, और कहना है कि यार उनके साथ तो भगवान थे, फिर भी उनकी ये सिचुएशन थी, तो मेरे साथ तो क्या है, हु एम आई, मैं कौन सा बड़ा कहीं से टपका हूं जो मेरे साथ ये सब प्रॉब्लम्स होंगे, मेरे साथ भी होंगे. विल टॉक अबाउट हाउ टू डील विथ इट. बट व्हाट डिड अर्जुन डू? He approached Krishna and he told Krishna, next slide, Krishna, he was honest. He said, Krishna, now I'm confused about my duty. मुझे समझ नहीं रहा है मैं क्या करूं, मैं फाइट करूं या हिमालय भाग जाऊं. And I have lost all composure because of my weakness. Lesson number 1, सबसे पहले एक्सेप्ट करो भाई कि मैं प्रॉब्लम में हूं, मेरे साथ प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है. उसके बाद अप्रोच करो किसी गुरु को, शिक्षा गुरु को, मेंटर को या दीक्षा गुरु को अप्रोच करो. हैव समबडी. क्योंकि फिजिकल प्रॉब्लम्स होगी तो डॉक्टर के पास जाना ही पड़ेगा. मेंटल के लिए किसके पास जाएंगे? काउंसलर के पास. भैया वो काउंसलर भी मेंटली डिस्टर्ब्ड ही है 99.9%. देख लेना वो काउंसलर को, वो आप नहीं होते तब स्मोक करता है या नहीं, शराब पीता है या नहीं, वो आपको किस तरह से हेल्प कर पाएगा. या थोड़ा बहुत साइंटिफिक थोड़ा स्टडी किया होगा, थोड़ा बहुत बोलेगा जल्दी सो, ये करो वो करो, पर वो कैसे हेल्प करेगा जो खुद डिस्टर्ब्ड है. So we must have somebody who's strong spiritually in our lives and confess to them, I have a problem and this is my problem and I'm weak right now. And in this state, Arjuna tells Krishna, I'm asking you to tell me clearly, Krishna, please just don't beat around the bush. Krishna, समय नहीं है. Please tell me what is best for me. अब मैं आपका डिसाइपल हूं. I'm not talking to you as a friend of yours. अब वो हाथ नहीं रखूंगा मैं आपके ऊपर. अब नहीं बोलूंगा ए कृष्णा क्या व्हाट्सअप, नहीं करूंगा. अब मैं आपका शिष्य हूं. And a surrendered soul. Please tell me what is good for me. And then after that, after Krishna speaks the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna says, my dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. Now, इसके बीच में क्या हुआ? Question and answers. Questions were asked, He got the answers. My illusion is now gone. Why? Because बैठ के किसी के साथ बात की in confidentiality. किसी और को सुनाई नहीं दे रहा था except संजय. Confidential mentor होना बहुत जरूरी है. I have regained my memory by your mercy, and now I am firm and free from doubt and prepared to act to your instructions, Krishna. Now I'm clear. Now I know what I need to do. What would we do in such calamities next? Will we remain next calm, or will we have A in between? A means means pain. Calm, shant, yeah, calamities, ashant. What will happen to us? If I assure you, if we remember these pastimes, we put our own self on the side for a moment, whatever has gone through us in life, and we accept that this is because I must have given pain to somebody in the past. Take that humble position. ये मेरे कर्मों के ही reactions होंगे. ये जहां मैं रह रहा हूं, ये body, ये दुनिया is going to cause me miseries. I accept that now. And if you're completely surrendered, and if you can remember Krishna at that time, then a devotee will say, maybe Krishna is testing me, and I have to pass the test. तो ये कृष्ण का टेस्ट है या ये मेरे कर्मिक रिएक्शंस है, उस पे ज्यादा ध्यान न देके भगवान का स्मरण करे, भगवान का नाम ले उस समय. That is what's very important. And then at the end, I will give you 4 practical tips for dealing with calamities in the future, because वो आएंगे, जरूर आएंगे, बिन बुलाए आएंगे. जैसे ही अच्छा समय भी आएगा, जरूर आएगा. There will be days when you'll tell yourself and you'll tell your loved ones, I feel very happy today. But remember, उसके बाद भी there will be days when you feel completely down. तो उस समय पे क्या करना है? Number 1, don't give up the association of devotees. साधु संग मत छोड़ना. साधु, वैष्णव, भक्त ही हमारा सहारा है, स्पेशली कलयुग में, और वो बहुत कम है. और जो भक्त लोग भी हैं उसमें से भी जो सिंसियरली फॉलो कर रहे हैं, जो सिंसियरली प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं, वो और भी कम है. बट व्हाट विल हैपन व्हेन वी आर इन साधु संग? वी प्रे टुगेदर. घर पे बैठ के हम अकेले रो सकते हैं, हम रो रो के प्रे कर सकते हैं. बट जब भक्तों के संग होता है, जब वो गाते हैं नमस्ते नरसिम्हाय, 100 लोग साथ में, जब हम गाते हैं कि वह जय जय गौरा चंदेर आरती के शोभा, जब हम लोग प्रदक्षिणा करते हैं वृंदाय तुलसी दिव्याय प्रियाय केशव आशिच, सब भक्तों के संग, तो हमें होप मिलता है. तब वो प्रेयर सुनाई देते भगवान को. When we are in the association of devotees, we can seek guidance, we can make friends, we can get people who care, they know that you come, and when you're not there, they'll start realizing that hey, क्यों नहीं है. We feel protected where we're in the midst of devotees. घर पे रहेंगे तो माइंड पूरा का पूरा सत्यानाश कर देगा हमारे मन का. बट डिवोटीज के साथ होंगे जब हम भगवत गीता के क्लास सुनेंगे, भागवतम सुनेंगे, रामायण सुनेंगे, महाभारत सुनेंगे, then what will happen? It will uplift us. प्रॉब्लम्स गए, प्रॉब्लम्स नहीं गए, लेकिन हम बोलेंगे प्रॉब्लम्स को कि प्रॉब्लम्स तेरे से बड़ा है मेरे प्रभु का नाम. प्रॉब्लम्स तो है, लेकिन मेरे प्रभु का नाम और मेरे प्रभु का सहारा और आश्रय तेरे से भी बड़ा है, तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. I'm sure you all have heard Premanand Maharaj. Everyone here must have heard him. It's very, very much known, and people listening on online. Premanand Maharaj बोलते हैं, मुझे सालों से किडनी मेरा फेल है, रोज मुझे डायलिसिस करने जाना पड़ता है, बट कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. मैं और मेरा शरीर, कोई फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता मुझे, क्योंकि मैं राधा रानी के कंप्लीटली उनके सहारे हूं. अब वो कैसे बोल सकते? कोई बोलेगा प्रभु आपको नहीं पता, बिकॉज आपको ये हुआ नहीं अभी तक. योर किडनी हैज नॉट फेल्ड, दैट्स व्हाई यू आर एबल टू से दिस. नो, we are taking examples of people who are doing it, and we have to prepare ourselves that we can say the same. देन काइंडनेस, जीवेर दया, काइंडनेस टू ऑल लिविंग बींग्स। सिर्फ अपने बारे में मत सोचो। जो लोग दूसरे के लिए जीते हैं ना, उनको पेन ज्यादा फील नहीं होता। दे कैन नॉट फील द पेन ऑफ देमसेल्व्स, दे फील द पेन ऑफ अदर्स। राधानाथ स्वामी महाराज ने एक बहुत अच्छी बात कही थी कि प्यार क्या होता है, व्हाट इज लव। ही सेड लव मीन्स पेइंग अटेंशन टू डिटेल्स, दैट इज अ साइन ऑफ लव। कि दूसरों के लिए उनके डिटेल्स में अटेंशन देना, दैट इज अ साइन ऑफ लव। नहीं तो मुंह बोली बस आई लव यू, आई लव यू, आई लव यू, और बस मैं और मेरा परिवार का लव, आगे पीछे कुछ नहीं। नो, वी हैव टू केयर फॉर अदर्स। I'll give you an example. My parents are old. They are in their late 80s. और कई बार स्नो होता है तो बिफोर द एंड ऑफ द डे दैट आई कैन गेट देयर टू क्लीन देयर ड्राइवे, हमारा जो नेबर है वो खुद का वो लॉन वो स्नो ब्लोअर लेके ही कम्स एंड ही जस्ट डज दैट। ही केयर्स। वी नेवर टोल्ड हिम टू डू, ही नेवर आस्क्स फॉर मनी, बट ही जस्ट केयर्स दैट देयर इज एन एल्डरली कपल नेक्स्ट डोर, लेट मी गो एंड डू इट फॉर देम। छोटा सा लेकिन जीवेर दया। टेस्ट फॉर द होली नेम्स, थर्ड, नामे रुचि, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट। दैट इज द एसेंस कि भगवान का नाम। हरिदास ठाकुर वॉज एन एग्जाम्पल। इसके लिए उनको बोलते हैं नाम आचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर। इतना ऐसे जप करते थे कि जब एक एनवियस पर्सन ने एक प्रोस्टिट्यूट को भेजा उसके पास कि इसका भंग करो तुम जप, और उसको पकड़ लेंगे, जब वो तुम्हारे साथ क्लोज आ जाएगा तब हम पूरी गांव वालों को बता देंगे कि हरिदास ठाकुर इज अ फेक पर्सन। When she went there, हरिदास ने क्या बोला, माता बैठो इधर, मैं जरा जब खत्म कर लूंगा तब आपकी जो भी इच्छा है मैं पूरी कर लूंगा। ऐसे 2 दिन गुजर गए, हरि नाम खत्म ही नहीं है उसका चैंट करना। ही केप्ट चैंटिंग ऑल डे लॉन्ग। 2 दिन बाद आके उसने पूरा दंडवत प्रणाम किया हरिदास को कि हरिदास मैं तो आई थी आपका सैंक्टिटी भंग करने के लिए, लेकिन मैं आपकी दासी बनना चाहती हूँ। आई वांट टू बिकम योर डिसाइपल। That taste for the holy names has to come, and it will come only by chanting, regular chanting. And the last one is service to Vaishnavas, Vaishnav Seva. हमारी एक भक्तिनी थी, प्रभुपाद डिसाइपल थी, हलादिनी माता जी करके एक थी। ये माता जी लाइबेरिया में, मोनरोविया करके एक जगह में, शहर में, लाइबेरिया अफ्रीका में, इन 1990 जब सिविल वॉर हो रहा था, she went there with a few other devotees to help the local devotees distribute food for people because लोग खाना नहीं मिल रहा था उनके पास। तो इस्कॉन टेम्पल था लाइबेरिया में, एंड शी वॉज डूइंग दिस। अब वहां का कोई एक लोकल वॉर लॉर्ड था बाय द नेम प्रिंस जॉनसन। उसको पता चला कि यहाँ पे कुछ अंग्रेज लोग आए हुए हैं, हरे कृष्णा वाले का टेम्पल है, एंड देर डिस्ट्रीब्यूटिंग फूड। सो व्हाट ही डिड, ही टुक सम आर्म्ड मैन and he went there and he captured all the devotees. उसमें 5 आदमी लोग थे, 5 आदमी लोग थे और 2 औरतें थी। उसने कहा कि I'm going to kill and execute all the men. You ladies, be on the side. You are excused. 5 को लाइन अप किया, बंदूक निकाली, and as he was about to shoot, हलादिनी माता जी ने अपने हाथों से, she is not a martial arts expert or anything, she pounced on Johnson, that warlord, and she said, how dare you kill the devotees of Krishna. वो बोली कि कैसे तुम मेरे कृष्ण के भक्तों को कैसे मार सकते हो, you better kill me first. And what happened, उसने उसको इतना पकड़ के जकड़ के रखा, he shot her. The point is कि वैष्णव के लिए इतना प्रेम, भक्तों के लिए इतना प्रेम कि अपनी जान तक देने को तैयार है। महाप्रभु बोले सनातन गोस्वामी को, हियर सनातन, काइंडनेस टू ऑल लिविंग बीइंग्स, टेस्ट फॉर द होली नेम्स एंड सर्विस टू वैष्णवस। इसके अलावा कोई और धर्म मुझे नहीं पता। दिस इज रिलीजन. So if we are really practicing religion, if we are so-called Sanatanis, or we are so-called Hindus, or I'm a so-called Christian or a so-called Muslim, which is fine. But do we really have kindness for all living beings, including animals? Like, कैसे बोल सकते हैं कि I'm a good person, I'm a godly person, but then I eat beef or I eat chicken also. Because other living entities के लिए प्रेम ही नहीं है. We don't care. So Sanatan Dharma teaches us care for all entities. I would like to play two videos for you. One is from Mother Teresa, very heart touching. Let's make sure that the sound is very clear. All of you, please hear this. You can click on that right there. Click on it. नीचे होगा वीडियो का एक आइकॉन होगा कहीं पे.
नहीं आ रहा है वो.
At the bottom there is, you see a camera or something there?
वो इमेज ही है ब्रो, ये कॉपी नहीं हुआ अच्छे तरीके से.
Okay, let me text you so you can play from there.
Sure.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram,
One evening.
Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare. So Ramsal Prabhu, I'm sending you on chat, okay?
Sure, bro.
Okay, check it now. So everybody still with me? Awesome.
One evening.
Okay, please play.
A gentleman came to our house and said, there is a Hindu family with 8 children, have not eaten for a long time. Do something for them. And I took rice and I went immediately. I saw his mother, and those little ones' faces, shining eyes from sheer hunger. She took the rice from my hands. She divided it into 2 and she went out. When she came back, I asked her, where did you go? What did you do? And one answer she gave me, they are hungry also. She knew that the next door neighbor, a Muslim family, was hungry. What surprised me most, not that she gave the rice, but what surprised me most, that in her suffering, in her hunger, she knew that somebody else was hungry.
Everybody heard that? And in her own suffering, जहाँ पे उसको खाना देने का ये, she's sharing that food with her neighbor because her neighbors had not eaten for days. That's love, caring for others, right? जब ये सब होता है, तब it doesn't matter what calamity comes on us. When I was in India, like I said, they were talking about this Bhavishya Vani. There is this Bhavishya Mallika. Hold on that. Just close that. So Bhavishya Mallika that they say was spoken 600 years ago by Achyutanand Swami. It's written in palm leaf about what will happen in the future. And many astrologers, some top astrologers in India, as well as Pandit Mishra, who translated from the Oriya language into other languages, the predictions are that year 2026 to 2032 is, there's bad period coming. Calamities aayenge. Calamities like wars, world wars, earthquakes, natural calamities, hunger, famine, economies crashing. बहुत कुछ होगा. अब वो तो time ही बताएगा, right? COVID was just a promo. COVID would take 2 days to kill. Diseases that will come will take a day or 2 to kill. Well, many people can say whatever they want to. Before COVID came, nobody would believe that a disease like that would come. The question here is not what's going to happen tomorrow. Is the stock market going to crash or not? The question is that if such calamities do come, what is going to be my state of mind? How am I going to handle these situations? That's what will separate one from the other who will not be able to handle it. And it has come to that point of discussion where I was surprised that even Hare Krishna TV, which has million followings, has also come out with a video on this. So I was like, hey, this is worth talking to the devotee communities too, because sometimes we are just, don't care for problems, like Bob Bindas, until problems come, and then we are like shaken up. So let's hear this video. That's one. And then along with that, there was another video, Uske Baad, of the Delhi temple president, Mohan Rupa Prabhu, speaking on this very topic just a couple of weeks ago. And then when I was in India, one devotee came up to me and said, Prabhu, do you know Srila Prabhupada, he talked about World War III in 1975. I said, do you have the transcript? He says, yeah, I do have the transcript. And he sent me the transcript, and I also got the audio recording of that. And Prabhupada, 1975, he's speaking about problems, calamities that are going to come very soon. Now, 50 years is not a long time. Hear this. Everyone, please hear this attentively.
हाल ही में आई अमेरिका के काउंसिल ऑन फॉरेन रिलेशंस CFR की एक रिपोर्ट ने पूरी दुनिया को चिंता में डाल दिया है। इस रिपोर्ट के अनुसार 2026 में भारत और पाकिस्तान के बीच एक बड़े युद्ध की संभावना जताई जा रही है। पिछले साल हुए ऑपरेशन सिंदूर और सीमा पर बढ़ते तनाव ने हमें उस मोड़ पर लाकर खड़ा कर दिया है जहां हर कोई शांति की प्रार्थना कर रहा है। लेकिन एक भक्त के रूप में हमें इन घटनाओं को कैसे देखना चाहिए? क्या युद्ध केवल विनाश लाता है या इसका कोई गहरा आध्यात्मिक अर्थ भी है? आज के इस वीडियो में हम जानेंगे युद्ध, शांति और वर्तमान स्थिति पर वैदिक दृष्टिकोण। तो रिपोर्ट कहती है कि दोनों देश बड़ी मात्रा में हथियार और ड्रोन तकनीक खरीद रहे हैं। जहां भारत अपनी रक्षा प्रणाली को मजबूत कर रहा है, वहीं पाकिस्तान भी नए रक्षा सौदे कर रहा है। लेकिन शास्त्रों के अनुसार हथियारों की होड़ कभी स्थायी शांति नहीं ला सकती। श्रीमद् भगवत गीता के पहले अध्याय में अर्जुन भी इसी दुविधा में थे। वे विनाश को देखकर भयभीत थे, लेकिन भगवान कृष्ण ने उन्हें बताया कि जब धर्म की रक्षा के लिए युद्ध अनिवार्य हो जाए तो वो धर्म युद्ध कहलाता है। युद्ध की स्थिति को समझने के लिए हमें इन 3 बातों पर चिंतन करना चाहिए। पहला, काल का चक्र। वैदिक शास्त्र बताते हैं कि हम कलयुग में जी रहे हैं। कलयुग कलह और पाखंड का युग है, जहां शांति के प्रयास अक्सर विफल हो जाते हैं, क्योंकि मनुष्यों के हृदय काम, क्रोध, लोभ और अहंकार से भरे होते हैं। दूसरा, अहिंसा बनाम धर्म। वैदिक संस्कृति केवल कायरता वाली अहिंसा नहीं सिखाती। श्रील प्रभुपाद कहते थे कि यदि कोई अन्यायी समाज को नुकसान पहुंचा रहा हो तो एक क्षत्रिय का कर्तव्य है कि वो शस्त्र उठाए। तीसरा, कर्म का सिद्धांत। राष्ट्रों के बीच होने वाले युद्ध सामूहिक कर्म का फल होते हैं। जब समाज में अधर्म और जीवों, विशेषकर गौ माता के प्रति हिंसा बढ़ जाती है तो प्रकृति युद्ध और महामारियों के रूप में प्रतिक्रिया देती है। श्रील प्रभुपाद से एक बार पूछा गया था कि दुनिया में शांति कैसे आएगी? उन्होंने बहुत सुंदर उत्तर दिया, जब तक लोग भगवान कृष्ण को हर चीज का भोक्ता नहीं मानेंगे तब तक शांति संभव नहीं है। भोक्ताराम यज्ञ तपसाम सर्वलोक महेश्वरम सूर्यदम सर्वभूतानाम ज्ञात्वा माम शांति मृच्छति। जब तक मेरा देश और तेरा देश की शारीरिक अवधारणा रहेगी, संघर्ष चलता रहेगा। वास्तविक शांति तब आएगी जब हम ये पहचानेंगे कि हम सब भगवान कृष्ण की संतान हैं। लेकिन अब ऐसी तनावपूर्ण स्थिति में हमें क्या करना चाहिए? पहली बात, पैनिक न करें, प्रार्थना करें। भयभीत होने के बजाय भगवान नरसिंहदेव से विश्व की रक्षा की प्रार्थना करें। दूसरा, हरिनाम संकीर्तन। कलयुग में युद्ध के मानसिक और भौतिक प्रभाव से बचने का एकमात्र उपाय हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र का जप है। यह वातावरण को शुद्ध करता है और लोगों की चेतना बदलता है। तीसरा, प्रसाद वितरण और करुणा। युद्ध के समय मानवता सबसे अधिक पीड़ित होती है। भक्तों को चाहिए कि वे करुणा का संदेश फैलाएं और जितना संभव हो अन्नदान के माध्यम से लोगों की सेवा करें। चौथा, सबसे महत्वपूर्ण, गौ सेवा। जैसा कि हमारे शास्त्रों में कहा गया है, गौ हत्या और हिंसा ही युद्धों का मुख्य कारण बनती है। अहिंसा और गौ संरक्षण को बढ़ावा देना ही वास्तविक सुरक्षा कवच है। भारत और पाकिस्तान के बीच की स्थिति जटिल हो सकती है, लेकिन हमारा विश्वास भगवान के चरणों में होना चाहिए। याद रखिए, बिना भगवान कृष्ण की इच्छा के एक घास का तिनका भी नहीं हिलता। हमें अपनी रक्षा के लिए तैयार रहना चाहिए, लेकिन साथ ही आध्यात्मिक चेतना का प्रसार करना चाहिए ताकि युद्ध की नौबत ही ना आए। आप इस बारे में क्या सोचते हैं? क्या आध्यात्मिक चेतना से युद्ध को वाकई टाला जा सकता है? अपने विचार कमेंट्स में जरूर साझा करें और इस वीडियो को शेयर करें ताकि और भी लोगों को वैदिक शांति का मार्ग मिल सके। धन्यवाद। हरे कृष्णा।
Before a single drop, there is a heartbeat. At Haribol, that heartbeat is never traded for milk. Every cow and bull is protected lifelong.
और अधिक जानकारी
ऐसा सुनने में आया है 2025 से लेकर 2032 तक का समय बहुत खराब समय है। गुड न्यूज हमारे लिए अच्छा है, प्रचार के लिए, बाहर के लोगों के लिए अच्छा नहीं है। 2025 से शुरू हो गया है। बड़े बड़े जोशी, बड़े बड़े संतों ने भविष्यवाणी की है। सूरदास जी ने भी अपने पद में लिखा। अभी कहां तक सही है ये प्रमाणित हो रहा है। 2025 से शुरू हो गया है। 2025 में क्या हुआ है? बहुत सारे भूचाल आए कि नहीं आए? बाढ़ आए कि नहीं? पंजाब में 3 लाख एकड़ खेती बर्बाद हो गई है बरसात के कारण। ऐसी बरसात कई सालों में नहीं हुई है और यहां पे तो बरसात रुकी नहीं रही। तो पूरे भारत में इतना जो है नुकसान हुआ है बारिश के कारण। भूचाल कितना सारा, अर्थक्वेक आया, थाईलैंड में आया, बर्मा में आया, भारत में आया, कहां नहीं आया अर्थक्वेक। इतना अर्थक्वेक आया कभी आया पहले? एक ही वर्ष के अंदर ये सब हो रहा है। देखिए अभी तो केवल इसका ये ट्रेलर ही है। इंडिया पाकिस्तान का जो युद्ध हुआ था अभी, वो केवल उसका प्रोमो था, जिसमें 2,500 करोड़ खर्च कर दिया भारत सरकार ने। लेकिन जब असली समय आने वाला है तो ये बता रहे हैं संत लोग, ये बता रहे हैं 2027 अक्टूबर से विश्व युद्ध की संभावना है, तैयार रहिए। और सूरदास जी ये भी लिख रहे हैं कि केवल वही भक्त जो हैं बचेंगे जो गुरु की सेवा में लगे हैं। अब सर में क्या गिरेगा पता नहीं। कहते हैं सर मुंडाते ओले पड़े, तो जिनके सर नहीं मुंडाए गए हैं उनके ऊपर तो ओले नहीं पड़ेंगे, कुछ और भी गिर सकता है। हम नहीं चाहते हैं कि विश्व युद्ध हो। भक्त कभी नहीं चाहता है किसी को कष्ट मिले। इस बात से हमें बड़ी खुशी नहीं होनी चाहिए कि युद्ध होगा, सब मारे जाएंगे, हम भी बचेंगे। नहीं, ये हमारा आशय नहीं है। बल्कि इसके लिए निवारण ढूंढना है, भक्तों को ढूंढना है। देखिए बाहर के लोगों के पास ज्ञान नहीं है। मैं भौतिक ज्ञान की बात नहीं कर रहा हूं, कई लोग दुखी मत होइए, हमारे जो इंजीनियर भाई हैं। बाहर के लोगों के पास ज्ञान नहीं है, हमारे पास ज्ञान है। बाहर के लोगों को भौतिक दुनिया का ज्ञान है, आध्यात्मिक दुनिया का ज्ञान बिल्कुल भी नहीं, शून्य है। आपके पास दोनों ज्ञान है, और दोनों ज्ञान होने के बावजूद भी अगर हम प्रचार नहीं करते हैं तो हमसे बड़ा कृपण कोई नहीं होगा। यहां पे क्या लिखा है? क्या लिखा है? कंडु यनेन कैरो करियोरे दुख दुखम त्रिप्यंति नेहा कृपणा बहु दुख बाजा। कृपणा, ये कृपण कौन है? कृपण वो लोग हैं जो कृष्ण भावना का प्रचार नहीं करते हैं। कृपण वो हैं जो केवल इंद्र तृप्ति में लगे हैं। माया सुखाया भरम उद्वतो विमुढ़ान सोचे ततो विमुख चेतसा इंद्रियार्थ। प्रहलाद महाराज जी कह रहे हैं माया सुख को असली सुख मान बैठे हैं और उसी में लगे हुए दिन रात, कोलू के बैल की तरह, गधे की तरह काम कर रहे हैं। इतने अज्ञानता में लोग हैं। तो इसलिए ऐसे लोगों के बीच में हमें प्रचार करना होगा। कहने का अर्थ ये है कि अगर हम इस युद्ध से बचना चाहते हैं तो एक ही उपाय है। श्रील प्रभुपाद जी ने भी बोला है, अगर युद्ध से बचने का एक ही तरीका है, हमें संकीर्तन को बढ़ाना पड़ेगा, ग्रंथों के वितरण को बढ़ाना पड़ेगा। अगर ग्रंथों का वितरण बढ़ गया तो ये युद्ध टल सकता है, अन्यथा नहीं टल पाएगा। अन्यथा नहीं टल पाएगा, बहुत मुश्किल है। इसलिए हमें संकीर्तन को बढ़ाना पड़ेगा। बहुत हो गया आराम, बहुत हो गया सुख सुविधा में रहना, कंफर्ट जोन से बाहर निकलना पड़ेगा हमें। हमारे गुरु महाराज कहते थे, फॉर अ डिवोटी टू स्टे इन द कंफर्ट जोन इज लाइक अ ग्रेवयार्ड।
That one morning walk, World War III,
So the devotees, everyone just got real close, and started probing. And Prabhupada said the war would start between India and Pakistan. Then Prabhupada said after the war, the preaching would be very good. Devotees were saying, well, what should we do? Should we start the farm? And Prabhupada was saying yes. And he said, but we don't care. He looked up into the sky and he said, we'll just look up and see the bomb. Here comes Krishna. Same thing in Mayapur when the snake was there. He said, we don't care. If Krishna wants to save you, no one can kill you. If Krishna wants to kill you, no one can save you. So he didn't express any concern on our part, but just it was in reference to preaching, how the war would affect preaching and how it would be better after the war. Not that we were afraid of the war or death. But one walk, when we used to walk in those little single files, like along the little paths, between the paddies, he said something to the effect like, Prabhupada, how do we understand that the spiritual master knows everything? And Prabhupada said, no one can know everything. Only Krishna knows everything. He said, but the spiritual master knows whatever Krishna wants him to know.
All Western adventure to keep people in darkness. And that is going on. Now it will be smashed by the next war. Next war will come very soon. Yes. Your country, America, is very much eager to kill this communist. And the communists are also very eager. So, very soon, there will be war. And perhaps India will be the greatest sufferer. Because America is aiming to start the war from India. Yeah. Because India and Russia, they are no, side by side. Yeah. If the war is started from India, the Russians are ready here already, I have heard, with soldiers and not soldiers, I want to say. Huh?
Missiles.
Yes. They are also vigilant.
Will that help our preaching, Prabhupada?
Preaching will be very nice after the war, when both of them, especially Russia, will be finished.
They want to make India the battleground?
Also, Prabhupada, Acharya Rishi said that the Arabs are preparing for the war. They're buying billions and billions of dollars worth of missiles and jets and tanks from America.
Yeah, so they're being prepared. War will soon start.
The Arab men all go to America to be trained in the armed forces there. In all the armed forces centers in America, they train the Arab nations to fight. They let the young men come into the USA to learn how to use the missiles and everything.
Recently, this Bhutto of Pakistan, he was very happy because they were talking about lifting a 10-year holding on arms from the United States, and now they say Pakistan will soon get arms from America.
Yeah, they're getting. They're already getting. The Pakistan will start the war. with India, and then everything will be.
Again, they have started the war maybe 8 times.
No, you can go.
What will the devotees do while the war is going on?
Chant Hare Krishna. We have got only business.
Will we stay in the cities, or will
we can stay anywhere? We have got our Mayapur, Vrindavan. But the danger is the government is say that all Americans go away. That is the danger. I am thinking of that position. What shall I do at that time?
Take Indian citizenship?
Huh?
Indian citizenship?
If you take it, it's very nice. Then they ask you to go to war.
Will this war spread to many different countries and continents?
The actual war will be between America and Russia.
What about British devotees, British citizens? Would the British be asked to leave? British citizens? Commonwealth citizens?
British are now finished. They have no importance.
He means that British devotees came to India, would they be asked?
No, I want to say, I'm speaking of politics. Devotees are this. Oh, British.
See, you said the Americans might have to leave. What about the British?
But they generally, during what time?
Everyone.
They ask all foreigners.
During the last war, the Christian mission of Krishnagar, they had many Italian priests also, but the government gave them permission to stay, although India was at war against with Italians.
In a missionary consideration, they can do that.
What will be the position of the Chinese, the Russians and Americans?
Well, I'm not a politician. China does not don't want war. They want to construct.
They're not ready.
They are not very much interested in war.
Srila Prabhupada, you said that this war will destroy the demonic civilization. Does that mean that it'll destroy all the cities and all the industries?
The war means destruction of all cities. That is natural. We have got experience in Europe so many times.
Cities and industries.
Huh?
Cities and industries.
Yeah, that is the main target.
Nobody's interested in a farm.
Endeavor, pure devotees are automatically expert in politics, economics, everything. Without separate endeavor, a pure devotee is automatically expert in everything.
Yeah.
Politics, economics.
Yeah.
So, just pause here.
Sarvamekam Vigyasam Bhavanti. If
Ram,
you know, then you understand everything. That is Vedic India. Jasmin Vigyasa.
You can pause it. Yeah. Hare Krishna. So there's another few minutes of the video. You can, if you like, I can send it to you separately. But here Prabhupada very clearly, now understand this is Srila Prabhupada, a pure Vaishnava, and when a Vaishnava speaks, every word comes out true, right? So Prabhupada is saying that World War is imminent. It'll start from India, Pakistan. Can you please mute somebody? I think.
Good. You put it?
Ram Tulsivo, I think you're unmuted. So we have to see all the forecast or the Bhavishivani that is being done. Predictions also say the same thing, that will start from India and Pakistan and things like that, wars and all that. The point that all the devotees that made, and Prabhupada makes it, that what should we do as devotees? And Prabhupada very clearly said, right? Chant Hare Krishna, take shelter. Don't wait till calamities strike us. The whole, in a summary, in a nutshell of my today's presentation was that don't wait till calamities strike. Take shelter of Krishna. Golden age, it is said 5,000 years after the previous Yuga, which was Dwapar Yuga, 5,000 years after Kali Yuga begins, a golden age, Satyuga, begins in Kali Yuga, and that lasts for 10,000 years. And it is said, Jayapataka Maharaj was recently saying in a Bhagavatam class that 10,000 years started 500 years ago when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. And after 500 years of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appearing, Srila Prabhupada appeared and took this Harinam to the entire world, where people from all over the world are now taking up the chanting of the holy names of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So we see that golden age coming, and this Bhavishya Mallika also talks that Kali Yuga, within Kali Yuga, Satyuga will come, and that period has started. Now there is a slight difference where the predictions, or person who's translating is saying that Kalki has already appeared because it's end of Kali Yuga, Satyuga is starting. But we as followers of Bhagavad Dharma go by what Srimad Bhagavatam says, and Srimad Bhagavatam clearly states that the Kali Yuga is 435,000 years long, and Kalki will appear at the end of Kali Yuga. We are way far away from that. So there is no Kalki appearing now, is what we believe in. But the 10,000 years coming is guaranteed, is going to happen. And why is that golden time? Because that is the time where we have an opportunity to perfect our lives by chanting the holy names and go back to the spiritual world and never come back to this material world. And that is what is called golden age of Satyuga in Kali Yuga. So we are part of that right now. Don't take this lightly. Any questions? This was the end of my class. I know it's late, but if you have any questions, and those who want to stay can stay, those who want to drop off, if it's late for you or early morning for you, you can do that. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone, again. Anybody has any questions? Maybe I'll make a quick announcement.
We can skip it. It's okay, Prabhu.
Okay, we can skip it. Yes, late. Maybe one question we can ask. Nobody has.
I hope I did not scare anybody, but it is something that I personally generally don't pay heed or attention to these things. But this time, when I heard final touch was when I heard Prabhupada say it, I took it very seriously that, things are going to be, and to support their other documents and other predictions also. So we must prepare, and preparation means spiritually prepare. There's not much we can do materially. Okay.
Sure, Prabhu. Thank you so much again. With loud Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we can everyone thanks Ramacandra Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sri Prabhupada ki jai.
Prabhu, I only heard your voice. I can hear it.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, we cannot unmute.
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you. Did you say you were not able to unmute?
Yes, initially we were not able
I
to.
disabled everybody not to
Yeah, I was also.
So that's why you could not hear our voice.
Maybe somebody has a question, then maybe they were not able to ask. I don't know.
Anybody had a question? Sorry. I have.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I have a small question.
Yes.
Since Prabhupada spoke this in 1971, maybe he was mentioning about Kargil War.
1975.
Yeah, but the Kargil War happened in 1998, right? So maybe he was talking about that.
Well, he talks about Russia getting destroyed, completely finished, he says, right? That has not happened.
Ah, okay.
Prabhupada very clearly said that US is trying to, and just look at today's news, right? Every day you get up and you look at the news, where it's heading. Any sane person who with little intelligence will see that it's heading towards a world war. Like today only in the news you'll see that this Venezuelan ship which had a Russian flag, and because it had Russian flag, US was not approaching it, and Russia already sent a few naval ships to protect it. And what the US did today, they went and took over that ship. So when you see all this, it's like jigsaw puzzle, and you can put it together. But Prabhupada said that this will be finished, the cities will be destroyed, and he said that India will be the biggest loser. That has not happened yet. And he said that after the war, this Sanatan Dharma will spread all over. It will be very good for Sanatan Dharma. So, it's still yet to happen. Thank you for the question.
Okay, thank you, bro.
Yes.
Anybody else?
Well, Soviet Union did break up, right, in 90s?
Finished. That was Soviet Union is finished. Russia is not finished.
Did he say Russia also? At that time, I think the understanding would be
It's very
Soviet Union
surprising,
and
right?
Russia.
It's very surprising, right? That in 1975, Prabhupada is not saying Soviet Union. He's saying Russia. I mean, just
But I
imagine.
think it is synonymous with Russia at that time.
Well, whatever. We can translate it in different ways, but yeah. Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you. वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। आनंद वैष्णववृंद की जय, प्रभुपाद की जय।
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Thank you everyone.